Hello everyone, my name is Andrea Biasiucci. I am the CEO and founder of Braincredible, a neurotechnology company based in Switzerland. Neuroscience and neurotechnology have shown dramatic improvements over the last few years, and the grand challenge to understand how to interact with the human brain, how to decode information and encode information into it, may be at reach. At Braincredible, our mission is to remove any barrier to the exploitation of big brain data, and we believe that this is the most important topic of this field. Let me tell you why. In this video, you can see a prototype that we developed a few years ago at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Lausanne. This brain-computer interface for stroke rehabilitation was able to detect the attempt of a paralyzed person to move a paralyzed limb from the electrical activity collected from the scalp, what we call the EEG, electroencephalogram. As you see, the machine is able to detect whenever the user is engaged and can deliver a stimulation of the muscles, completing the movement in the paralyzed limb, and this helps patients recover function. This was very exciting back then. It still is very exciting, and as a young biomedical engineer, I was passionate about the idea that this research could help thousands of people. Despite the fact that the clinical trials that we ran were highly successful, these prototypes still remain largely in research labs. They didn't make it to the larger population. The reason for this is that the EEG logistics is complex. This means that it is complex to gather data from EEG, and it is complex also to have the personnel that has the right qualification to ensure that the data is high quality. In general, the artificial intelligence, such as the one that you've seen in the previous video, the potential of these solutions is highly limited by data availability. If you want to have an algorithm that performs well, that is well adaptive to different users, you need a lot of data, and that's often not the case. On top of this, there is a general and well-known lack of signal processing standardization in this world of EEG. And this leads to each research lab developing an own recipe or approach to extract information, which limits the replicability of scientific studies and then also their impact into larger market. Now, at Braincredible, we have chosen a different path. We believe that our clients, or in general, any researcher in this topic or any person interested in understanding the brain, should concentrate on owning data, not hardware, that we need to collect the data. For this reason, our offering is basically we make data gathering scalable. We allow our clients to access data without the need of owning EEG machines. And we have the ambition to lower the cost per unit of brain data. So if you think of how much it costs to acquire a unit of brain data, an hour of brain data, for example, you may think that as of today, this costs $200. That would be a figure that represents this measure. And our ambition is to provide systems in a way that can lower this cost. Let me give you a practical example. Assume that you have a budget of $100,000 and 6 months of time to provide the results that can help you demonstrate your hypothesis is true. In the current world, you would use a single system. You would buy a high-density EEG system, and over 6 months, with skilled personnel, you could record 20 to 40 subjects. With Braincredible, you would have access to 10 systems for a limited amount of time, and you would be able to record up to more than 1,000 subjects. That's what I mean. Our value proposition is based on the fact that we can deliver up to 20 times more data to our clients at the same cost of conventional systems or conventional approaches. That's what we call scalability. We do this by parallelizing the recording of brain data, and from this point of view, we overcome the traditional way of thinking, of imagining neuroscience experiments, where we have a single subject with a single system mounted on a single operator working on the subject. In this case, we can deploy a large number of EEG systems on demand. We can have trained personnel, certified personnel, that participates to the kickoff of these sessions and ensures that the data quality is high and can be done in a timely fashion. And even more, we have imagined a world where we can decentralize data collection. This can be seen in two ways. From one side, we can rely on a network of excellent centers in Europe that have demonstrated a solid proof of competence in collecting data, that can replicate experiments that were done somewhere else, or can augment the population of a study that was maybe started in another location. We can also imagine to develop hardware that is going in the houses of people, it's reaching people at home, and is collecting data at the end user place. So after all, we are trying to address the big demand for fresh data after the COVID-19 stop. All the research in the world has stopped for 1.5 years now, and we need to absolutely go back to speed, collect data, analyze data, and bring this new innovation to the world. Our business model is fairly simple. Braincredible is a spin-off of the Neuromotion group, and we can access hardware at cost from the ANT Neuro family, and we can provide tens of systems as a service to our clients. Our clients' niches and segments include industry, clinical research organizations, pharma and medtech, and academia, large research centers or conglomerates of a few principal investigators that decide to join together and make a big deployment of EEG. We can offer very convenient pay-per-use and pay-per-subject schemes that make and related services that include analysis of data, AI pipelines, artificial intelligence pipelines, but also recruiting services that can speed up the time for running experiments. And this can be done with a very highly profitable business for us, with margins above 90% in a compounded way between systems and services. Our competition is mainly defined by EEG manufacturers. These are companies that are on the market for small to medium companies that have been on the market for a few years. They focus on hardware, and new startups based in the US that speak of neuroscience as a service. You may have heard Kernel, for example. There is also Google X, now called the Moonshot Factory, that is active in this area, in this domain. And they have a data focus. They mainly concentrate on delivering data. And Neuralink is a bit between these two worlds. It's trying to do something that can fit both hardware and data exploitation. Well, our ambition is to be up here, where we can be something like Kernel, but with more hardware. We like the definition. So we believe that we can really deliver value by having a strong know-how in data and also a strong foot in hardware manufacturing and customization. The market is very large. We are talking about a neuroscience and neuromarkers market of more than 6 billion worldwide, a total addressable market, we have also an addressable market of excellence centers, pharma and CROs, that is about 2 billion, and an operable market that we can reach of approximately 1 billion of big research centers and CROs focused on neuro topics. The management team is composed by myself. I have a PhD in brain-computer interfaces and more than 10 years in neurotechnology. I spent also a few years as a consultant in medical technology and regulatory affairs. And I am a serial startup founder. This is my second startup. The first one was acquired in 2017 and was still a startup about neurotechnology. Dr. Frank Zano is our Chief Operational Officer. He has a PhD in neuroscience. He's the founder of the ANT Neuro family, and he has more than 20 years of business with EEG. And Dr. Paolo Ruggeri, our Chief Product Officer, he has a PhD in physics and more than 10 years in research as well. He's an expert in EEG, and he has very deep expertise about large-scale recordings and all the problems related to this type of data collection. We are currently incubated at the ARC. It's the local incubator of Canton Valais in Switzerland, and we are receiving excellent support from the incubator. We look forward to the next step. So far, we are completing the incorporation of the company here in Sion, in Valais, in Switzerland. We have the ambition to have 3 customers by Q4 2021, and I'm very happy to tell you that as we speak, we are closing our first 2 contracts with 2 of them. And finally, we are planning a global launch of our company in Q1 2022, together with a concept of our web platform that will provide the related services for recruiting, for analysis in 2022. So now, since I know that this audience is composed by researchers and investors, I would like to speak to both parts, both segments. So if you are a researcher and you would like to be the third client, or if you have an ambitious idea, if you have an idea that needs a lot of subjects, you want to be the first one in your field to do that, please contact us. You will see my contact in the next slide. We may find a way to make your vision true. And we are currently in a pre-seeding phase. We can count on many non-dilutive funds from Switzerland. We will soon be raising funds in a seeding round. So if you want to invest in our company, please contact me. I look forward to hearing back from you. It's a pleasure to demonstrate this for the first time, and I hope to hear from you soon. Bye-bye.